Widsith. Widsith came to talk, unlocking his wordy hoard, he who had traveled furthest across the earth among men and tribes and peoples. Often he had prospered on the hall floor with agreeable treasures. From among the Mergingas his lineage sprung. He with Ealhild, an unfailing peace weaver, for the first time seeking the home of Hrethking, east of the Angle, of Ormenric, the angry breaker of covenant. He began to speak many words. I have heard tell of many men ruling their tribes. Every prince must live according to his customs. One earl after another must govern his homeland, he who wishes to prosper upon his princely seat. Hwala was one of these, best of his time, and Alexander, most powerful of them all, of all mankind, and he thrived the most of those who I have heard of across this earth. Attila ruled over the Huns, Eormenric the Goths, Becca the Beningas, Giffica the Burgundians. Caesar ruled the Greeks, and Selic the Finns, Hagina the Holmrigs, and Heoden the Gloms. Wita ruled the Swafings, Wade the Helsings, Miaka the Mergingas, Merchialf the Hundings. Theodric ruled the Franks, Thiel the Rondings, Breoka the Brondings, Billing the Werns. Oswain ruled the Eows, and Gefwulf the Yta. Finn Folkwalding, the kindred of the Frisians. Sigahire ruled the Sea Danes for the longest time, Nef the Hawkings, Helm the Wolfings, Wald the Woings, Wad the Thyrings, Saferth the Sicca, Ongentheow the Swedes, Saefthir the Imbra, Shefa the Lombards, Hun the Hetwera, and Hali the Rosna. Hringwald was called the king of the Herefara. Offa ruled the Angles, Alewi the Danes. He was the proudest of all men, yet never did he manage to effect supremacy over Offa. But he slew him none the less first of men, while still a boy, greatest of kingdoms. No one his age had ever exerted himself in such great deeds. With a single sword he extended his borders towards the Mergingas beside the Eider River, ruling over from then on afterwards the Angles and the Swafings, as he slew Offa. Hrothulf and Hrothgar ruled the longest at peace together, uncle and nephew, after they drove away the kindred of Vikings and humiliated the spear-tips of Ingeld, chopping down at Heorot the majesty of the Heathobards. So I have traveled among many alien lands throughout this spacious ground. There I have experienced aught of good and wickedness, deprived of my kinsfolk, far from my free people, following them widely. Therefore I can sing and speak of tidings, base things on account of the multitude in the mead hall, how made myself useful among the chosen and the excellent. I was among the Huns and the Hrothgoths, among the Swoma, and among the Geatas, and among the South Danes. I was among Wenlas, and among the Wernas, and among the Vikings. I was among Gepthe, and among Wynedas, and among the Geflas. I was among the Saxons, and the Siccas, and among the swordmen. I was among the Hronas, and among the Danes, and among the Heatherims. I was among the Theringas, and among the Thrandas, and among the Burgundians, where I received a ring. There Guthir gave to me a resplendent treasure, as requital for my song. That was no sluggish king. I was among the Franks, and among the Frisians, and among the Frumtingas. I was among the Rugas, and among the Glomas, and among the Rumwala. Likewise I was among the Eatula with Elfwine. He had the lightest hand of all mankind, as I have heard, to perform his praises, the most generous in the sharing of rings, the bright bracelets, the child of Edwine. I was among the Serkingas and among the Seringas. I was among the Greeks and among the Finns, and with Caesar, he who owned authority of the wine fortresses, of the wealth and his desires, and over the realm of the Walas. I was among the Scots, and among the Piota, and among the Skridfinns. I was among the Leidingas, and among the Leona, and among the Lombards, among the heathens, and among the heroes, and among the Hundingas. I was among the Israelites, and among the Assyrians, among the Hebrews, and among the Indians, and among the Egyptians. I was among the Medes, and among the Persians, and among the Mergingas, and the Mophdingas, and even against the Mergingas, and among the Amothingas. I was among the East Thiringas, and among the Eola, and among the Ista, and Idumingas. And I was with Jormunrik for a long time. There the king of Goths availed me well. He gave me a ring, the origin of the city dwellers, in that was 600 counts of coins, battered gold, reckoning the wealth. I gave this to Eadgils into his possession, my sheltering lord, when I came back home, as reward to my dear one. After that he gave me lands, the homestead of my father, the lord of the Mergingas. And then Aelhild gave to me another gift, the lordly queen of glory, the daughter of Edwine. Her praises I extended throughout many lands, when I had to speak through songs where I knew best beneath the heavens the gold-adorned queen was sharing out gifts. Then we two Silingas heaved up a song for our victory lord with shining speech, loud by the harp, voices chiming, when many men with proud minds spoke wordfully, those that knew how to well, so that never was a better song heard. From there I wandered all throughout the homeland of the Goths, seeking always the best companions. That was within the horde of Jormunrik. I sought Hethka and Bedica and the Herolingas. I sought Amerka and Fridla and the East Goths, aged and excellent, the father of Unwena. I sought Seca and Becca, Sephola and Theodric, Hethoric and Siphica, Hlythe and Ingentheow. I sought Edwine and Elsa, Egelmund and Hungar, and those proud companies of the Withmergingas. I sought Wulfhere and Wormhere. Very often the war did not end there, when the forces of Hreda, with hardened swords, must defend their old home seat around the Wisla woods against the folk of Attila. I sought Redhere and Ronhere, Rumston and Giselhere, Withergeld and Freotheric, Woodga and Hama. Those companions were never the worst, though I must name them last. Very often from the band flew, whistling the shrieking spear, into the ferocious nation, rousing where they wielded the wound gold for men and women, Woodga and Hama. So I always discovered that in that venturing, that he is most cherished among the land dwellers, he who God gives the realm of men to hold on to, so long as he lives. So the minstrels of men turn to leave, wandering among the created world, throughout many lands, talking at need, speaking grateful words, always to the south or north, measuring out a certain wise song, unstingy of their gifts. He who wishes to rear up glory among the multitude to execute his authority, until everything hurries away, the light and life together. He works praise, having under the heavens an enduring reputation.